Killing Floor 3 is a game I've enjoyed immensely since its launch. I guess that's a controversial opinion, but I always found the game fun and a clear improvement over 2 in terms of feeling and gameplay. I played both the original and 2 for a nice chunk of hours, and it really just seems like 3 is also going to be the same way. I enjoyed it at launch, and I'm certainly enjoying this update. This update introduces the Gunslinger, probably my favorite perk from Killing Floor 2, and here the class feels strikingly similar while also feeling a bit improved. All of the guns are great, and let me just say that the dual night adders are probably one of my favorite pistols to use in any FPS game. Well done, devs, on those bad boys. The perk itself is speedy and boasts a lot of damage. The ability given, essentially dual smart pistols, fits well without pushing the class in any other direction. If anything, I think the grenade itself might need some tuning. It's a bit, well, strong to say the least, but overall I think the class feels great and it is fun to play as it itself is a damaged focused perk. With that out of the way though, I wanted to touch on something more important. Something that the developers honestly should have advertised a bit more for this update, if not perhaps even putting it at the forefront of the update. They've removed the random component from crafting altogether. For those unaware, at launch and until now, when you crafted a gun part, you were granted one affix on that gun part at random. This basically meant that you were playing games to farm resources to sit in the armory and roll the same gun part over and over again until you got the affix you wanted. However, that's no longer the case. When you craft a gun part, you are given the entire list of affixes and you are able to select exactly what you want. This means that you have the full armory at your disposal to explore and craft your own player expression with. This is a major change, and I'm really happy they did it. I think developers need to be more careful about adding in RNG to game genres that it simply isn't expected in. There was that whole debacle at Darktide's launch with the NPC gun store. Yeah. I imagine developers often think that adding in an RNG component to their game will make it so player counts will remain steady, as players are going to farm constantly to try to get what they want from the RNG system. However, I don't think that's true, and for me personally, it has the opposite effect. I never actually engaged with re-rolling gun parts because the RNG of it is simply too frustrating. I think that it would make more players quit rather than stay and farm. There are times and places, or rather genres, for RNG in games, and I don't think that multiplayer horde shooters are one of them. But again, good on them for completely removing it altogether. I think this sets a new pace for the game and player expression, and the remaining components of the update, the new map and the new boss, are great to engage with. That said, there are a few things that I think need a look at. First, performance. In a full multiplayer match, especially on long survival, the frame rates need some help. There is a pretty prevalent micro-stutter that appears tied to maybe the effects and the Z spawning. It makes a full multiplayer match and long survival not very fun to engage with. Second, ghost inputs. I'm not crazy, there are totally ghost inputs. If I sprint in a direction, sometimes my character will just randomly dodge. After reloading, sometimes my character just fires one bullet immediately. It has happened enough times to the point where I'm not imagining it. And finally, the stalker damage seems kinda high. She's super sneaky, but man, I'm fairly certain I've had more runs end because of her than any other Zed. Yikes. Overall, though, they did a great job with this update, and I can't wait to see what Tripwire has in store next for Killing Floor 3. Let me know what you all think about the removal of the RNG component with gun parts in this game, and how are you enjoying the update altogether in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you enjoyed it. Bye bye.